Imagine a world on the brink, a world where freedom itself hangs in the balance. This was the reality for the ancient Greeks as they faced the colossal might of the Persian Empire. The Persian Wars, a series of conflicts spanning decades, would determine the fate of Greece and, honestly, shape the course of Western civilization. These weren't just battles for land or power, these were battles for a way of life. The Greeks, with their independent city-states and burgeoning democracy, stood in stark contrast to the vast centralized power of the Persian Empire. Could a collection of small, independent states withstand the onslaught of the world's largest empire? The answer, my friends, lies in the heart of these epic encounters. To truly grasp the magnitude of this clash, we must first journey back to the ancient world. Picture Greece, a land of rugged mountains and sun-drenched islands. Here, democracy was born, philosophy flourished, and art and architecture reached new heights. The Greeks, though divided by geography and individual allegiances, shared a common identity, a love for their land, and a fierce belief in their right to self-governance. Across the Aegean Sea lay the Persian Empire, a vast and imposing power stretching from Egypt to India. Ruled by the mighty King Xerxes, the Persians commanded a formidable army drawn from every corner of their vast empire. Their wealth was legendary, their ambitions boundless. The conflict began with the Persian expansion westward, a slow but steady encroachment that threatened the independence of the Greek city-states. For the Persians, Greece represented a strategic prize, a gateway to controlling the Aegean Sea and expanding their empire further into Europe. But for the Greeks, this was an existential threat. Their freedom, their very way of life, was at stake. They knew that to survive, they had to set aside their differences and stand together against a common enemy. The Persian Empire, with its vast armies and seemingly limitless resources, seemed an unstoppable force. What chance did the Greeks have, with their smaller numbers and limited resources, against such overwhelming might? The threat of Persian domination forced the Greeks to confront a difficult truth. Their survival depended on unity. This was no easy task. Greek city-states, fiercely independent and often at odds with one another, now had to find common ground. Athens, a center of democracy and naval power, and Sparta, known for its disciplined warriors and military prowess, emerged as leaders in this fragile alliance. Together they rallied the other Greek city-states to their cause, forging a united front against the Persian threat. However, their alliance was fraught with tension and mistrust. Could they overcome their differences and work together for the common good? The fate of Greece hung precariously in the balance. In 490 BC, the mighty Persian army, commanded by King Darius, landed on the wide windswept plains of Marathon, just a short distance from the city of Athens. The Persians had come across the Aegean Sea with a vast force, their ships crowding the shoreline, their banners fluttering in the breeze. For the people of Athens, the threat was immediate and terrifying. If the Persians succeeded, their city and way of life would be lost forever. The Persians, confident in their overwhelming numbers and the reputation of their empire, fully expected a swift and decisive victory. Their army was one of the largest the world had ever seen, and they believed that no force in Greece could possibly stand against them. But, they really underestimated the courage, unity, and fierce determination of the Athenian hoplites. These citizen soldiers, fighting to defend their homeland, were not professional warriors, but they were driven by a powerful sense of duty and pride. The Battle of Marathon was honestly a clash of titans, two very different worlds colliding on a dusty plain. The Persians brought their archers, cavalry, and lightly armored infantry, while the Greeks relied on their heavy armor, discipline, and the strength of their phalanx formation. The heavily armored Greek hoplites, their shields interlocked, formed a nearly impenetrable wall of bronze and determination. Shoulder to shoulder, they stood firm, their spears bristling outward, ready to meet the Persian onslaught head-on. The Persians, with their lighter armor and, of course, superior numbers, attacked relentlessly, seeking to break the Greek lines with wave after wave of soldiers. The air was thick with dust and the clash of metal as both sides fought desperately for victory. In the end, though, the Greeks held strong. Against all odds, they refused to give ground. their courage and discipline never wavering even as the battle raged around them. Their discipline and superior tactics prevailed. The Greek commanders, using clever strategies, managed to outflank the Persians, turning the tide of battle in their favor. The Persians were routed, suffering heavy losses as they fled back to their ships in chaos and confusion. Many never made it home, and the once invincible Persian army was forced to retreat in defeat. The victory at Marathon was not just a military triumph, it was a testament to the power of courage and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. It inspired the Greeks for generations, proving that even a small, united force could stand up to a mighty empire and change the course of history forever. 10 years after their initial defeat at Marathon, the Persians returned to Greece, this time under the command of Xerxes, the ambitious and powerful son of Darius. Xerxes was determined to succeed where his father had failed, and he brought with him a force the likes of which the ancient world had never seen. Seeking revenge for the humiliation at Marathon, Xerxes assembled an enormous army, estimated by some ancient sources to number in the hundreds of thousands, along with a formidable navy. His goal was clear: to crush Greek resistance once and for all, and to bring the independent city-states under Persian control. The sheer scale of the Persian invasion sent shockwaves throughout Greece, uniting many rival city-states against a common enemy. The Greeks, fully aware of the overwhelming odds they faced, chose to make their stand at Thermopylae, a narrow mountain pass where the massive Persian numbers would count for little. The geography of Thermopylae allowed the Greeks to funnel the Persian army into a tight space, neutralizing their advantage and giving the defenders a fighting chance. At the forefront of the Greek defense were 300 elite Spartan warriors, led by their legendary king, Leonidas. These Spartans were joined by a few thousand allies from other Greek city-states, but it was the Spartans' reputation for discipline, strength, and fearlessness that inspired all who stood with them. For 3 days, the Spartans and their allies held the pass, fighting with unmatched bravery and skill. They formed a nearly impenetrable phalanx, repelling wave after wave of Persian attacks. Their courage and determination became the stuff of legend as they refused to yield even when surrounded and outnumbered. Ultimately, the Greeks were betrayed, and the Persians found a way to outflank them. Despite knowing their fate was sealed, Leonidas and his men fought to the last, sacrificing themselves to delay the Persian advance. Their heroic stand bought precious time for the other Greek city-states to organize their defenses and prepare for the battles yet to come. The Battle of Thermopylae, though ultimately a defeat for the Greeks, became a timeless symbol of unwavering courage, self-sacrifice, and the willingness to stand against impossible odds. Monuments and memorials still honor the bravery of Leonidas and his men, reminding future generations of their extraordinary valor. The story of Thermopylae showed the world that even the smallest of forces, united by a common purpose and unbreakable spirit, could resist tyranny and inspire others to fight for freedom. The legacy of the Spartans endures, a testament to the power of courage and the enduring human desire for liberty. The Persian advance was relentless, sweeping across the Greek world and finally reaching the heart of Athens. The city, once a beacon of culture and democracy, was set ablaze by the invaders, its temples and homes reduced to smoldering ruins. The Acropolis, a symbol of Athenian pride, stood scarred against the evening sky, a stark reminder of the devastation wrought by the Persian army. But even as their city burned, the Greeks refused to surrender. Driven by a fierce determination to defend their homeland, warriors from across the Greek city-states gathered together, united by a common cause. Their hope and resolve burned brighter than the flames that consumed Athens. The Athenian navy, led by the brilliant strategist Themistocles, devised a daring plan. They lured the massive Persian fleet into the narrow straits of Salamis, where the Persians' overwhelming numbers became a disadvantage. In these confined waters, the agility and skill of the Greek sailors would prove decisive. The Battle of Salamis erupted in a frenzy of oars and bronze. Greek triremes darted between the cumbersome Persian ships, striking with precision and courage. Against all odds, the Greeks achieved a stunning and decisive victory, turning the tide of the war. Their smaller, more maneuverable ships outflanked and rammed the larger Persian vessels, causing chaos and destruction. The Persians, unable to coordinate in the tight straits, suffered heavy losses as their fleet was shattered and set ablaze. From a distant vantage point, Xerxes, the mighty Persian king, watched in disbelief as his once invincible fleet was consumed by flames. Realizing the campaign was lost, he was forced to abandon his ambitions in Greece and retreat back to Asia, his dreams of conquest in ruins. Yet the struggle was not over. The following year, the Greeks, now united under the disciplined leadership of the Spartans, prepared to face the remaining Persian forces on the plains near Plataea. Soldiers from every corner of Greece stood side by side, ready to defend their freedom. The battle that followed was fierce and bloody, echoing across the ages as one of history's great clashes. In the end, the Greeks emerged victorious, driving the Persians from their land once and for all. Their courage and unity secured the future of Greece, and the legacy of Salamis and Plataea would inspire generations to come. The Persian Wars ended in a resounding victory for the Greeks. They had defended their homeland, preserved their freedom, and secured their place in history. But the significance of these victories extended far beyond the battlefield. The Persian Wars marked a turning point in Western civilization. Had the Persians been victorious, the course of history would have been vastly different. The democratic ideals, the philosophical inquiries, the artistic and scientific innovations that flourished in Greece might never have taken root. The courage, the sacrifice, the unwavering belief in freedom that the Greeks displayed during these epic battles continue to inspire us today. They remind us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, the human spirit can prevail. The Persian Wars were a tapestry of bravery, sacrifice, and strategic brilliance. Each battle, from Marathon to Thermopylae to Salamis and Plataea, played a crucial role in securing Greek victory. But which battle, in your opinion, was the most significant? Was it Marathon, where the Greeks first proved their might? Was it Thermopylae, where the Spartans' sacrifice became a timeless symbol of courage? Or was it Salamis, the naval victory that turned the tide of the war? Share your thoughts and let's delve deeper into the battles that shaped the destiny of Greece and left an indelible mark on the course of Western civilization.